Broadcasting from the Merritt Hall Studios out of Carson City, Nevada. You're listening to Covering the Field with Big Richard Martin, Gator Gates, and Joe the Answer Ellison.
Welcome to Covering the Field. We are back after our bye week. We're back to football. We're recording live from MXS Studios in the High Sierras, Northern Nevada. In studio today, we have Gator Gates.
Woo!
We have Joe the Answer Ellison and Big Richard Martin. Well, let's just start with football, gentlemen. Week 8's in the books. What do you got for me, Joe?
Well, I think the first thing we got to mention, how about San Francisco losing at home for the first time this year, and now having lost 3 straight games. We had Brock Purdy coming off a concussion. Do you think he was totally 100% mentally there for that game?
No, I think he's a second-year quarterback that's looking like a second-year quarterback. I think that, let's just don't give him a crown of a Joe Montana status just yet. Let him figure things out. Cincinnati played a great game. Don't take anything away from that Cincinnati defense. How many turnovers did he have? He had two interceptions and a fumble. All right, that has nothing to do with your concussion. All right, that has to do with you just being outplayed on defense. And you know what? Let's just tip our hat to Joe Cool. I mean, Joe Burrow, 3 touchdowns, 283 yards. I mean, he does this every year. Why are we surprised?
They start off slow and finish strong. They seem to.
And right now, they would be in the playoffs if it started today.
That's good news for us people who bet Cincinnati to win the Super Bowl and bet on them.
Yes. You didn't get
the season.
You didn't get such as good odds as you did 2 years ago, but you're not getting 125 to win the Super Bowl. Maybe you're right around 7 or 8. Probably think it was somewhere in that
you
area.
You get better odds now than before the season started.
So jump on it. Jump on Joe Cool, man.
Okay. Well, I want to say something about Purdy real fast, though. That's sophomore curse or slump.
Jinx.
That's what he's in. So I don't think you should hit the panic button just yet.
Panic button? No one's panicking in San Francisco.
Not in San Francisco, but all the announcers on these networks.
Oh, they're saying there's a chink in the armor. There's some Superman's got some kryptonite. Is that what they're saying?
I guess so.
I think he looks just fine.
They just missing Deebo Samuel and
Trent Williams.
That's when they were looking so good.
Right.
Exactly right.
I mean, everybody looks good in the pocket when there's no pressure.
Right. And Cincinnati, by the way, is 18-1 right now.
Wow.
Just in case you
jump on that. Nice. Jump on that.
Okay.
Uncle
Denver,
Mike, I'm going to jump on it.
How about Denver? 24-9.
Finally.
We were talking
5 years, a little bit. 2,000 days since the last time that they've beaten
16 straight until that one.
Yeah, this is over 2,000 days.
Wow. So that was a shocker. Kansas City with 9 points. Maybe not Denver winning, but by 15, and not even scoring in the second half.
24-9.
That's a
bucket. And the Denver defense that we thought was so horrible all of a sudden
gave up 70 to Miami
and only 9 to the defending champs. Let's tip it off to the Mile High City. They came out. Have you looked at they didn't look like a 2-5 crowd there. It was nothing but orange. Yeah. It was nothing but loud. Let's give it up for the Mile High guys. They were good. They support their team no matter what.
Yep. Okay. We should congratulate Carolina. They won 15-13 over Houston, their first win of the season.
Yeah, Bryce Young finally got his first win. He was the first overall pick. It took him about half the season maybe to get that, but
yeah, it did. And I should mention Tennessee, just because Will Levis, his debut, 4 touchdowns.
Does he look like a little bit like Joshua Kelly? Josh Kelly, do you think that he kind of reminds you of him a little bit? Big guy back there running around, throwing great balls. Josh Allen, that's right.
Yeah, he looked great.
Yeah,
but he was playing Atlanta. We'll see how it goes.
Because we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that coming up. That's going to come up.
Only 2 other guys had thrown for 4 touchdowns ever in their debut. Marcus Mariota, which is shocking.
Yeah,
and Fran Tarkenton.
Okay, so you got 1 out of 2. All right, neither one's won a Super Bowl. So anyway, we can't go without Week 8 saying that Jacksonville is 5-0 in the month of October.
They're just hot, man. Great love that team.
I think that they beat Pitt, and everybody's saying Pitt's bad. I think just Jacksonville's good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Big Richard.
All right, and I guess we should mention the injuries before we start.
Well, yeah, you're going to talk about the only one-loss team a little bit. Maybe the Eagles are still flying high.
Well, they are. They got a big game this week against Dallas.
Right. And they just the LA Rams.
Yeah, they did. And Philly struggled against Washington. They were losing at halftime.
Yes.
And ended up.
I think they were down by 10 at one time. I think they were down. They were down, and they came back. And I just don't think
they struggle against Washington for some reason.
And it's a division game.
Well, they won in overtime the first time they played this year.
Right.
Well,
Hurts looks a little. Jalen Hurts looks a little hurt to me. Looks a little gimpy. Doesn't look like he's running like he did last year. Definitely like he wasn't running over Kansas City in the Super Bowl. It doesn't seem the same.
No.
I think they want to keep away from him running. You're 6-1. You're pretty much in the playoffs right now. I mean,
I would say so.
Yeah.
In the NFC,
yes,
they're going to make it for sure.
Okay,
absolutely. So injuries, I guess the big one, Kirk Cousins, done for the season.
Did we talk about why should they trade Kirk Cousins? Because you're going to get nothing for him. He's out of the contract. Well, yeah. Well, still, I mean, they are 4-4. Let's give some credit. He did take him from 1-3 to 4-4. But if you could have traded him to the Jets or somebody needed a quarterback, you could have got maybe a second or third round pick, and you'd have something out of him. Kirk Cousins will not wear a Minnesota uniform again, and he's going to be a free agent next year. And now you're in trouble. Because who's your quarterback now?
You don't see him coming back, huh? Okay.
Absolutely not.
That guy from Arizona.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
Dobbs?
Yes.
It's going to be just a stopgap for this year, pretty much. I don't see Dobbs being the quarterback next year. I kind of thought Cousins might be back next year, but we will see. Matthew Stafford, is he going to play this week for the Los Angeles Rams?
Well, I think he will. If you watch the game, he injured his right thumb, so his throwing thumb. So he went to the tent, came back, taped completely up. I thought he was going to play, but I think the Dallas had it so much in control that there was no sense putting him in at that point.
Right.
I did see he's questionable this week, but I didn't see if he's practicing. That's the one thing you want to look at. If he's practicing, he's playing.
Okay.
If he can throw with that ball, he's going to be out there because Mark Ripken is their
Mark Ripken's nephew.
Yeah,
Brett
exactly.
Ripken.
Yeah, the backup for Denver last year. He just can't hold a candle to that. That offense is completely out of whack without Stafford in there. And you finally get some good news. Cooper Kupp comes back, and then you get nailed with this injury. So hopefully they get
the
back.
spread reflects Stafford's injury because Green Bay is favored by 3. I'm just going to say, if Stafford's playing, that might be a decent bet to take the 3 points.
Oh, absolutely.
Green Bay looks terrible.
And how bad Jordan Love.
So that spread's going to change. So find out as much information as you can.
Well, you got to take a little gamble sometimes and, see what happens.
See what he's saying.
I have that even money as well, Joe.
Yeah, that's nice. I guess Jones is going to play for the Giants.
Daniel Jones?
I don't know if that's really going to make a difference.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor, T-Mobile, I think they look so much better with him out there. Daniel Jones is right now has 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Not somebody you want to pay that big contract they pay to.
$40 million a year is the way I remember it.
Yeah, well,
and
for 2 touchdowns. Right now they're $20 million a touchdown.
That's about it. And Justin Fields, I guess, is still out for Chicago, so it's that rookie from Shepherd College.
Division 2, yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Something to look out when you're betting this week, and we'll be all over it when we pick our picks. A lot of young quarterbacks out there this week.
I guess the Las Vegas Raiders will be looking a little different, but it doesn't have anything to do with injuries. We had our first firing of the season.
Josh McDaniels. Doesn't even make it through season 2. They also took the general manager out with them.
They had to do something. They had to do something. They've been terrible for so long.
Well, the thing they should have did is they should have did something with Devontae Adams. If you're not going to throw to him, why don't you trade him? I mean, he's got 3 targets last week, and he had 1 reception, 3 receptions the week before. I mean, if you're not going to have the best receiver in football and not give him the ball, what's the use of paying him the money, and why are you holding this guy back?
Well, absolutely. You got to get him the ball. But,
he's like, you played double coverage. He said, if I was double coverage, I don't have 20 balls thrown at me all year.
Just to answer your question, I think a lot of these owners would rather sell T-shirts, shirts, jerseys. And I think that has a lot to do with why these guys get these players and sit them on the bench. I really believe that. I'm not, and that's just my opinion. But
they're really businessmen, not football men.
Just trying to make money.
Well, I think Joshua Dobbs has been traded twice this year, so I'm going to call him AAA because every time your quarterback breaks down, you call AAA, right? So you call Joshua Dobbs to save the day. So it's a good little nickname for him.
I like it.
The Raiders. They just had that team meeting last week, and everybody voiced their opinions,
Mhm.
whatever. This team was totally out of control, basically. So it starts at the top. Starts with the ownership.
Right.
Mark Davis, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right. This is his third interim quarterback under his tenure since 2011.
He hired Mike Mayock to be the general manager before this guy, who's a TV guy. And the Ziegler guy doesn't know what he's doing. Now Antonio Pierce is going to be the head coach. It's curious to see what's going to happen.
I don't think he has any coordination, even a coordination or coordinator. Not been an offense or defense.
No.
Great linebacker.
It's just sad. It's just sad.
Well, maybe they'll bring some defense. Well, the defense really isn't the problem why they couldn't tackle Jamar Gibbs. But besides that, Max Crosby Mad Max is playing great.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yes, Dobbs goes from Arizona to Minnesota to take care of Kirk
Didn't he just go from Cleveland to Arizona?
Yeah, without a doubt. Leonard Williams is on Seattle now. He's a defensive tackle they got from the New York Giants. That should
good pick up.
Yep. I guess the big one, San Francisco, Chase Young, defensive end from Washington. Buffalo got Rasul Douglas, the cornerback from Green Bay. Detroit got Donovan Peoples-Jones from Cleveland, a receiver in Chicago. I don't know why they traded. They got Montez Sweat from Washington. They don't even have a chance to make the playoffs, and they're trying to get.
So you're saying, why are you sweating it?
Why are you sweating it? I'm a second-round pick. I mean, that didn't seem to make sense to me, but the other picks certainly.
I think Chicago's thinking what they want. They're probably going to start bolstering that defense they want to do, and they're looking towards next year maybe a little bit. They've already got Carolina's first pick right now, and they got their first pick, so they're looking at probably 2 of the top 5.
Right.
You're going to get a great quarterback and a great receiver that way.
Right. So I guess they are building for the future already.
It's gotta be.
I guess. So I guess we could start getting into our picks now. Unless you have something to add. Okay.
No.
Well, last week I'd like to recap 9 favorites and 7 dogs. That's good for the bettors. When the favorites come in, could have been a good week.
Probably been the first time all year. It could have been the dogs.
The second time.
It was a really bad week for the public, or a really bad month for the public. And as far as you go, the whole October.
So the Bucks made the catch big time in October.
Okay, we're gonna have great stuff in Vegas this year. We go on our vacation. They're gonna build something else out down there. It'd be great.
Probably.
Yeah. So actually, overall for the year, 63 underdogs and 59 favorites. Pretty even. So we did have that one week where the favorites really came in and even this out. But where you're really going to make the money is betting the under, apparently. Again, last week, 9 unders, 7 overs. For the year, 76 unders, 47 overs.
That's a lot.
That's considerable. That's pretty amazing. So
yeah, if you just bet the unders all year, you'd have a nice little
just bet every under.
Yeah, just bet the under. Yeah.
There you go. So anyway, did you want to start off with some picks?
Well, yeah, let's start with Thursday night. I think that we should go right into Pittsburgh. They're only giving up 2.5. Like you said, Will Levis is Titans. He's on his second game. Yeah, he played pretty good against the Atlanta Falcons, but let's just say what he does against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin will have that defense going against that young quarterback. I'm dropping the 2.5. I like Pittsburgh at home.
Easy. No faith in Will Levis.
No. Well, I don't have any faith. I just have faith in Mike Tomlin getting after a young quarterback on a short week.
Yeah.
And Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry's questionable.
Is he?
Yeah, he's questionable with an ankle. They didn't trade him, so that tells you that. I mean, he was one of the high talks for the trade.
Correct.
So,
well, just so you know, Pittsburgh has beat Tennessee 7 out of the last 10 times they met. So history also tells you Pittsburgh
at home is a good bet against a young quarterback,
and they own the AFC South too, 16-4 against the AFC South. Okay, so it
would be nice to have those Oiler uniforms that they wore last week. We see the old Pittsburgh and Earl Campbell Oilers and Pastorini and. From the days of old, those uniforms were sharp. I really enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, I do too. Powder blue.
Yeah,
that was great, and they looked beautiful.
They did. They look better than Dan Pastorini ever looked.
Yeah, or Kenny Stabler.
Or Kenny Stabler for a little bit. Yeah. All right, we'll start with that early game in Munich. That's, I think, might be one of the best games of the week.
I think so.
Kansas City, Miami. What do you guys think about that, Gator?
I like Miami a lot. Kansas City, their offense, their defense is okay, but their offense is just not going anywhere.
Well, they don't have any receivers
So
that can catch.
I would have to go with
I say if
Miami.
the receiver caught the ones, I mean, it wasn't Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a little bit under the weather, said he was just recovering from the flu. He seemed like he was faking the Denver Broncos out just fine with the flu or without the flu. I mean, he takes 5 guys to tackle the guy.
Here's another reason I like Miami is because there's only 2 home dogs this year, and I always look at these home dogs.
Okay, is Munich a home team?
Yes, Munich a home
It's
team.
not a home
And
team.
Is got
That's
a
why-
great following there.
Okay.
So then Miami, okay, well then it'll be a home dog for Miami. I'll take Miami for that reason too.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you why I like Miami because I like Tyreek Hill. He is just as fast as a high-powered Mercedes. He's going to be in Germany, and that's the Mercedes Andy Reid's wish he never sold. So I'm telling you right now, I think Tyreek Hill gets a little bit back on his guys for letting him go. Didn't pay him his money he wanted, and he's the fastest man in football. And Kyle has Tua has the fastest release. So I think that as long as they get it out, they don't turn the ball over. I think that I'm with you, Gator. I kind of like Miami on that too. And you're getting Charlotte 1.5. It's already up to 2.5.
Tyreek's already come out and said he's coming after Kansas City this week. So
Wow,
he's talking trash already.
imagine that. Well, if your nickname's the Cheetah, you're fast enough to talk trash, I guess.
He talks fast.
Okay.
All right.
The one I really like is Cleveland at home against Arizona. Cleveland has a great defense, and they get who's the quarterback? They're going to have Clayton Tune out of the University of Houston, the 5th round pick.
Yeah.
He has a total of 1 snap and 4 yards. The under's 37.5. I think that might be intact because Cleveland's defense is going to hold them down. The only way that goes over if Cleveland scores 30. Deshaun Watson is back, so he is practicing.
Is he?
He's supposed to be playing this week.
Oh, I didn't see that. I'll have to make a note of
That
it.
is interesting.
But Myles Garrett's going to be all over that kid. Cleveland's defense legit, dog pound. Weather will not be a factor. It's supposed to be in the high 50s. So
Okay, you're
that's
loving
good to know
Cleveland.
too.
I'm liking Cleveland at -8. I think that's a double-digit win, and I'd probably just parlay it with the under and see what happens.
Okay, that's a prelude to one of my picks.
Okay, well,
All
preluder.
All right.
All right, you guys got anything in there? You got any Gator? You got a pick for me?
That Arizona Browns?
Any pick.
Any pick. Well, okay. Well, I'll take my
Well, you already like Miami, you said.
well, yeah. And like I was talking about home dogs, the other home dog would be Carolina Panthers, and I know they just got their first win,
Mm-hmm.
and they're playing Indianapolis.
Uh-huh.
I like Carolina.
Oh.
Okay,
That's pretty bold.
That's pretty
I
bold.
would even take.
He's saying the Panthers are on a roll, man. Panthers are on a roll.
One in a row.
Oh, he's going to take the money line bet. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's a kind of a tough one, but I also have a pick on that one. I'm going to
I just don't know what the Colts are going to do week to week. They're just, they got two great running backs. They got Zach Moss and they got Jonathan Taylor. Seemed like they should have it together. The defense I was really high on. I even picked them up in my fantasy league, and they got me a -12 this week. So thanks a lot, Colts.
Terrible.
Yeah, they're on the waiver wire if you want them.
This Dallas and Philly game is very interesting to me because I would love to see Dallas stop that tush push.
I don't know how they can do it.
Just
Nobody
jump
has.
over the top and just knock the crap out of them.
All right, well, tell
Like
me
a
about the
person.
guys.
That's what I'm talking
Well,
about.
tell me what
They
you
can
think
jump
about your
over it.
Cowboys. Okay, last year they came in with who was it? Cooper Rush,
Mhm.
and got the job done. Can they do it with Deshaun with Dak?
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm not going to bet this game. This is, of course, my favorite team, Dallas, but they do have this history of beating Philly.
Right.
So 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 against Philly. I mean, they always hang with them. They've won 4 out of the last 5 games against Philly,
And you're getting 3.
and they love playing in the division. And you're getting 3. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but Philly is pretty awesome. They'd
have to have the game of their life. I agree with you. Dallas has to, but I'm going with Dallas too.
I would generally take the points, but I'll just stay away from it.
You're probably right.
An investment in the game.
No, you're
That's
exactly
my
right.
game. I don't need to bet on it to get excited.
Okay,
That
he
game.
doesn't need. He's investing in his heart, not
Yes.
his wallet.
That's right. Not on
Okay,
it. Gonna be a hell of a game.
it's gonna be
Me
great.
too.
Make sure you do that. What that is the late game? Is it the
No, it's a
1 o'clock game?
Yeah.
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 All right. The game I want to talk about, guys, is I want to talk about Las Vegas. Okay, they're at home, which is mostly a road game most of the time anyway. There's
Right.
50-50,
Half and half,
half and half when you're there. They are last in the league in rushing. So even with Josh Jacobs,
led the league in rushing last year.
They're averaging 70 yards a game last in the NFL. They got a new coach.
Yes,
They got a new quarterback,
Aiden O'Connell.
They're not a team.
I'm thinking that Daniel Jones is back, even though he only has 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But Tyrod Taylor is also questionable with his. He might play. So he carried up. But Saquon Barkley had 36 carries last week. They had -7 yards with their new quarterback. -7 yards passing. So I don't know how you can go -7 yards passing anyway.
They were throwing a lot of screens that were getting buried behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they were to Saquon Barkley. So he had 3 catches, 36. That's 39 out of their 62 plays. So they were like somewhere around 62% of the bulk was going to Saquon.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of offense. How do you not pay the guy for God's sakes if he's carrying?
Well, you better not trade him if you're going to use him like that.
There's nobody else. So, but in this game, I'm kind of liking. I think the Giants. I think.
Wow.
I think
That's
Vegas is. Maybe their heart would be. They did great with their intern coach a couple years ago. Remember when they brought the intern coach? You were very upset that they let him go, Joe.
Yeah.
So that kind of scares me a little bit. But I think the Giants defense played really good against Zach Wilson and the Jets last week. So I see that same type of thing.
The Raiders look so disarray. I mean, how can you?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they just.
I don't know. You got the under/over on that game. I think it's in the 37 range.
37 and a half.
Yeah, 37 and a half. I would probably like the under in that and just kind of watch them go from 30 to 30, but the ball go from 30 to 30. I think maybe if this new kid comes in, Aiden might get the ball to the receiver that I was just talking about, Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Get him involved and throw him the ball, make him happy, and
Yeah, well, he doesn't seem very happy. He slams his helmet on the ground more than he catches the ball.
Yeah, he slammed it twice and caught it once. Yeah, so that's exactly right. Okay, but I just think I really like the Giants' defense against that. You got a guy that's never even been an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator. Now he's the head coach.
Yeah.
Pretty much up in the air. Pretty much maybe a Jeff Saturday from last year kind of coach. Just came out of nowhere, like, hey, can you come off the studio and coach the football team? So anyway,
does it look good?
It doesn't look good on paper. If you go analytics, you bet it. But you never know. You never know. I mean, they could come out here. This kid really played good in preseason, and he did pretty decent against who did he play? He got a little bit of playing time to back up there. Aiden
O'Connell. He played at the Chargers and actually had him in a chance to tie the game.
Right.
And I guess he threw an interception or fumbled it late. They lost 24-17, but he had him in there.
Right.
He had him close. But that's the Chargers, and they're not so great either.
Not really.
So anyway, I guess I got to do my picks.
Yes.
Going into our last week that we actually did the show, I was 11-3 in those 3 weeks coming in. So
You've
been on fire.
You've been on fire. Yeah. Now you had your bye week and see where you're at.
So we're going to start with picks. There's I got 8 of them this week. Cincinnati -2.5 against Buffalo. Now,
I got that too.
Yeah. I mean, Cincinnati 9-1 straight up at home. They've beaten Buffalo 5 of the last 7 times. But, it's really about how these teams are playing right now.
Right.
Cincinnati looks good. They've won and covered 3 straight. Buffalo, they haven't covered in a month. 4 straight games they have not covered. So now is not the time to bet against Cincinnati, I don't think.
Right.
We already talked about that. So, and Buffalo on the road 1-3. Not good.
Was that
really good?
And the one game they were in England, right? They lost that one too, but there was a home game, but that was actually on the road.
Yes, and the other 2 were to the Jets and New England. Not good road losses. And here's Cincinnati only laying 2.5. That looks good. I have to go against Gator. Indianapolis -2.5 at Carolina. Yes, Carolina did win last week, but that's the only game they've covered all year. And can they win 2 in a row? And it's only 2.5. Indy's pretty hungry. They've lost 3 in a row, and I think they're better than Carolina. So I'm going to go with that. Monday night, New York Jets +3 against the Los Angeles Chargers. This is I got to take the Jets. They won 3 straight.
They're 4-3.
Yes, they're 3-0-1 against the spread the last 4. 3-1 against the spread at home. They gave Philly their only loss. Pretty impressive stuff.
Pretty good, yes.
Chargers 1-2 straight up. And
the Chargers, that would bring them down to 3-5.
Incidentally, yes, the Jets are 4-3. The Chargers are 3-4,
yes.
And the Jets are getting 3 points at home. Are you who they say you are, or you think you are?
You are a team with Zach Wilson as your quarterback, and that's who you are. And it took you overtime and a missed kick from New York Giants to get that win. So they should not have won that game.
Probably not.
It was another miracle in the Meadowlands. I'm telling you, missed the field goal. The guy throws a 70-yard bomb. Wilson's just a stud and gets the ball and they kick the field goal to tie it. And
well, I'm gonna say the Chargers, shouldn't be favored. They have to win by 4 on the road, and I don't think they're that good.
They'll get after Herbert, that's for sure.
Okay.
And so you're good. But you watched last week when they played against Chicago with Eckler healthy. Mm-hmm. And when they give him the ball in the passing, that just opens everything up. That's just like almost it's like having a wide run all the time with him. And then you can't stop the inside run if you got him going outside, and then you got the deep threat of Keenan Allen. So Jets defense for sure.
I'm definitely counting on the Jets defense.
Yeah.
No,
I hope you're not counting on Zach Wilson, because
not.
Then I'm going to tell you to go like you did with your Cowboy pick and go with your heart, not your wallet on that one. But
well, now comes my barrage of unders, because it's all been about the under this year.
Okay.
In Germany, early Sunday morning. Remember, folks, 6:30 in the morning, West Coast.
Yep.
Miami and Kansas City under 50.5. Only one Kansas City game has hit 51 points all year.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And that's when they beat Chicago 41-10.
That's very high.
They can't catch the ball, from what I can see.
Yeah.
They don't look good. I'm going to say, maybe they can keep it close. So I'm not going to bet the side, but I'm going to go under on that game.
Well, it's Taylor Swift coming. That's worth 3 points. God. You got to know that. So, no, she won't be there.
Jeez. I hope not. I don't want to see Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Arizona and Cleveland under 37.5. We already talked about Clayton Tune, the quarterback now.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Put that on one.
Cleveland, they've had 4 home games. The most they've scored in any of those was 36 total. We're looking at a 37.5 here. Arizona 3-1 under on the road. Cleveland 3-0-1 under at home. It sure looks like a handicapper's
James Conner
dream.
Out, right? The running back's out. The quarterback's out. You got Clayton Tune playing quarterback. I like your under in
that. Cleveland's defense, as we mentioned, amazing.
Right.
Minnesota and Atlanta under 37.5 points. Minnesota's got this rookie Jaron Hall. We're not getting Josh Dobbs yet. He has to figure out the offense.
Yeah, he's only been there since Tuesday.
Yes.
So
Jaron Hall is going to be the quarterback.
And that is a rookie from BYU.
Yeah. They're in deep trouble.
3 throws for 23 yards.
Yeah. Minnesota this year, 7 out of 8 unders. Atlanta, 6 out of 8 unders.
Yeah.
These are 2 massive under teams.
Yeah. Atlanta only averages 20 points a game.
Yeah.
So, and
right.
Desmond Ridder has 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
The last 9 times these teams met, 7 unders and 2 overs.
All right.
There you go. A little history, too.
37.5.
Okay.
I got it at 37, but if you got 37.5.
Okay. Tampa Bay and Houston, under 40. Another 2 teams that go under. Tampa Bay 5-1-1 under. Houston 5-2 under. Houston, their last 4 games, under. Tampa Bay, last 5 games, 4-0-1 under. Tampa Bay on the road, 9-2 under their last 11. Everything is pointing under.
Baker's your quarterback, under.
And then the Raider game we talked about, yes, I do like the under 37.5. There's the Giants, 7-1 under this year. 3 out of 4 of those were on the road. Vegas 6-2 under. All of their home games, Vegas have gone under. So, obviously,
if you could call it a home game.
Yeah.
If you at the stadium, and it was definitely over the Pittsburgh stadium. There was more Pittsburgh fans there than there were Raider fans, for sure.
For sure. So I want to thank Butch the Butcher Roberts for many of those statistics. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
So we need to talk some college football now, eh?
Yeah, we have to talk about, the College Football Playoff Committee came out with their first ranking.
Yes, they did.
Ohio State, number 1. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Georgia 2, Michigan 3, Florida State 4. I don't think anybody can argue that. Maybe Washington Huskies, and they're at 5, but they ain't got to worry about it because Michigan plays Ohio State, so the loser of that will be bumped out. So
there's only 5 from the major conferences.
Well, yeah, Oregon at 6 is
but they lost a game.
They did lose a game.
So
they lost to Washington, and they'll probably play them again in the Pac-12 championship game.
The final Pac-12 championship.
The final Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then you got Texas 7, and then you got Joe's favorite team, Alabama 8. So
Joe's favorite team.
Joe's favorite team, Oklahoma, which we're not even going to talk about that loss they took.
USC, I hate more than Alabama. So
okay. Well, Alabama just seems to creep right back in there, don't they? After that home loss to Texas, we thought, okay, Alabama, you're out. But look at if they play LSU this week, they win that. The winner of that, out of the last 10 years, Alabama LSU's went to the championship game. So you got a meeting with Georgia.
Well, LSU has 2 losses. They're not a national championship contender, but they are a conference.
Right. And they lost that one game to Ole Miss. I think it was like 48 to 51. Jane Daniels played really good. So
really high.
Really high scoring game. And it seemed like Alabama was able to handle Ole Miss pretty easily. So,
sadly, my Oklahoma Sooners lost to Kansas. Of course, that was raining. There was a 1-hour delay for lightning strikes. Kansas, they changed their uniforms at halftime, and Oklahoma sat there all soggy the whole game.
I would say 3 words to you, Joe: rock, chalk, talk. Okay, Kansas got it done, man. I mean, James Daniels looked great. It was back and forth, and James Daniels, that guy's when he's healthy, he's amazing. Yeah. So,
Oklahoma should have called a timeout on that 4th down play. Their defenders were. The one that Kansas got in touchdown range.
I think I had 7.5 at that point, so I was really happy. I was really
ready for the play
because I knew I had 7.5, and I knew that was a lot.
You were solid there.
Yeah.
North Carolina State beat Clemson 24-17. Clemson's 4-4 now, and they're 1-0 on the radio rants by Dabo Sweeney. I don't know if you saw that. Totally ripped this one guy.
Saying that you're the problem. Well, guess what? He's not playing quarterback for you, buddy, and he's not calling the plays. You're the problem, Debo.
Why should we be paying you so much?
$11 million a year. Yeah. What do we pay you?
Boy, that wasn't the thing to say.
Yeah, hit a nerve.
Oh, big time. USC 50, California 49.
And they could have won that.
Wait for the 2-point conversion. I would have kicked the extra point personally at home, but if you bet the other team against USC and just bet the over, you'd be 15-3 this year. That's
an awesome stat right there.
And now Washington's at USC.
Yeah. So what's the under over on that? You guys have the under over? It's going to be around
76.5.
76. Yeah. I bet you it was probably good. Right, 77. Somewhere there.
There's no number I would not bet over on that game.
I know. And when the Oregon game was 90 or 80, something like crazy.
We should mention Nevada homecoming. They won 34-24 over New Mexico. That's 2 in a row. They actually beat San Diego State the week before.
All right.
So they're 2-6 now.
Yeah, because Hawaii.
All right, man. Keep it going, man. Keep it going up here in northern Nevada.
Okay.
All right.
So you want to get into some picks?
Well, I think first talk about Texas bouncing BYU. Can we give that kid Malik Murphy came in and played great.
Okay.
Did have one interception, and he's not a running quarterback. He had like minus 18 yards rushing, so it's not like he's out there running the ball. He's throwing. He's a freshman, redshirt freshman from California. So I think he's out there from Southern California.
He was good.
And I thought Florida State, the number 4 team, really just smashed Wake Forest. 41-16. That just is a dominant performance. So they're looking solid number 4 team. They had a couple games they could have lost in there. But, I mean, I guess you're going to have those days. They didn't, and they're moving on. But before we go to our games, I want to talk a little bit about the Heisman Watch. Okay, just real quickly, Michael Penix, he was minus before that game against Arizona State. And, after he had the 15-10, barely won that game. He went to plus, and then he had a really good game last week against who did they beat, Joe? They had a real big. It was Stanford. Stanford. Okay.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of points in that game.
So he's a slight favorite over J.J. McCarthy over Michigan, the cheaters. We haven't seen this much cheating since the Houston Astros were in the World Series with play stealings. Anyway,
Michigan has a really easy schedule on my eyes. The rest of the
they still have to play Ohio State.
Their entire schedule was easy apparently because their toughest game was Rutgers.
Yeah,
they win every game by at least 30 points.
But we're talking about that Jaden Daniels. You can get him at 3-1 right now, the quarterback for LSU. So you'd be better. You would be better if he has to beat Alabama and Alabama to get it. So just bet the money line.
That's what you're saying.
If you're going to do it, bet the money
No,
line. You
because
get
if
better
he
odds.
does-
You
if
get
he
better
does-
odds the money line. I think you would for win the Heisman. I think pretty close.
Beats Alabama.
Okay.
you're
If you beat Alabama, he's going to be in. Marvin Harris is a sneaky one at 750. You try to compare him to Devontae Smith for the last wide receiver to win
Right.
the Heisman Trophy. So right now he's sitting at about 889 yards. So he's 622 yards off what Devontae Adams had. He has 8 touchdowns. He has 9 touchdowns off. Devontae Adams 17, and he has 48 receptions. And Devontae Smith had 98, so he's 50 off. So he will need 155 yards average in the air receiving. He'll need just over 2 touchdowns, 2.25 touchdowns, and he'll need 12 receptions a game to catch that kind of stuff. So I don't see that kind of numbers coming out of.
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Yeah,
You're explosive.
Yeah.
Ohio State.
so I think that I don't see him getting that Heisman.
No.
But you guys want to talk about Heisman? I'm going to ask you, since 2000, sink or swim, Heisman Trophy has been won by a quarterback or Alabama player.
Oh, quarterback or Alabama player. Yeah, I don't think any running back since 2000.
Right.
2000.
Oh.
23
So Heisman is won by a quarterback or an Alabama player since 2000, 23 years.
Well, I think I'm going to swim with that because every time I think it's not a quarterback, I keep going to Alabama.
Right.
It's Devontae Smith. It's Josh Jacobs. So I'm gonna swim with that one.
I'm going to say
Well, you're swimming. It's Derrick Henry. It was Alabama, and also Devontae Smith and Mike Ingram. Josh Ingram, yeah.
Jacobs didn't win it.
Jacobs didn't win it.
Oh, okay.
But you were right on. It was a swim. The one that has one is either Alabama or a quarterback.
that's amazing.
So,
Yep.
So there's your
makes
sink or
a lot
swim
of
for the day. But good job, Joe. The answer, you got that right.
Of course he did.
Keep swimming there. Keep swimming there, like Dora there, Gator.
I'm giving
Okay, well that's your stuff for that. So you could have got Bo Nix after the loss at 30-1 to win the Heisman, and now he's down to 4-1. I think.
Oh, wow.
So it's already went down that much in 2 games since he did lose to Washington. Because if he wins out and he keeps his numbers the same, I think he's probably got the best chance.
I think
to win
you're
the
right.
Heisman.
I agree with you.
Pac-12 really strong this year.
Really strong, and then they don't get one team in the Final Four in the first college football ranking. So anyway,
They'll get one this
They'll get one in. All right. So let's get our picks for this week.
Sure.
Okay.
You're all over the picks.
Okay, let's see what's happening. Let's go with the Thursday night game. Wake Forest at Duke, over 45. Wake Forest defense horrendous. Duke has good offense, not a great defense. Take that 45. It's going to be in the 20s each. So I love the 45 over. Ole Miss at home against Texas A&M. I don't know if that's a Thursday or Friday game. I like Ole Miss. They're rated number 10 in the nation. Texas A&M 5-3. -3 is a good number, I think, for Ole Miss. Ole Miss can still have a chance to win the West Division with Alabama and LSU. So they're in the top 3 together. They all have one lost team. So I see Lane Kiffin keeping it going. They'll win that game. Ohio State -18.5. The Scarlet Knights at Rutgers. Rutgers is 6-2, and I think that's why that number's down a little bit. But only team they really beat was Virginia Tech, who is 4-4. Not a great record of their 6 wins. Ohio State should walk all over. If Michigan can beat them 35-7, I don't see they shouldn't have any problem beating them either. I like Texas at home. They're giving up 6 to Kansas State. Kansas State just had a really big game last week.
41-0.
41-0 shutout at home. But Texas at home, only giving up 6. Kansas State, Texas is always big brother. I'm going to take Texas and drop the 6. I think they can win by a touchdown.
After last week or this week.
And they got that quarterback getting a little bit of experience now. He's good. Maybe we'll see with the Manning out there. He might get a little bit of playing time, the prodigy of the Manning brothers. So the game I really, really like is Air Force only giving up -18.5 at home against Army.
Why are they playing good, are they?
And they're playing great. And they're run the ball well, and Army tackles as bad as any team that I've ever seen in my life. They played UMass last week, and UMass is 1-7, and they're at home, and they look like they couldn't tackle anybody. Now you're playing against the best rushing team in the nation. They're gonna have a long day. The Commander
won't take it easy on.
They won't take it easy.
Commander-in-Chief
trophy. Colorado Springs hasn't been there in a while, and
they'll clinch it.
They'll clinch it there, and the Fly Boys will be flying good. So good there. And then the last one, Joe, I have to give you this. The Bedlam battle? What's it called? Bedlam. Yeah, the Battle of Bedlam, whatever. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma's only given up 6 after their tough game against Kansas. They will have no problem with Oklahoma State. They will cover that 6.
They own Oklahoma State.
They do.
Historically. That's going to be the 119th or 120th meeting.
And then it's over.
And that's it. The final meeting.
Because they want to move on to the SEC.
Extra motivation for Oklahoma. I guess it's extra motivation for Oklahoma State, too, because Oklahoma is leaving the conference. But
they have been playing well of late. But I don't think they can hold it. I don't think they can hold a candle to, Gabriel's just a great quarterback, man. Just give him this.
Yeah.
He'll get it done. He almost got it done against Kansas, as you pointed out last week.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a great game, even though they're going to be in Stillwater. I still like Oklahoma.
The Iowa Northwestern total, 31.
It went down to 30 and a half. It went to 30 and a half. They just keep baiting us, don't they? They just keep baiting us.
12 to 10.
Just Vegas throw like spinner bait at us every week with those Iowa unders, don't you? And you just think you can probably get 2 touchdowns, right? I mean, that's the game.
You got to bet under.
You got to bet under, exactly.
Okay, all right. So I guess we move on to World Series, unless you got a college pick there, Gator.
Well, I'm just shocked you guys didn't say anything about Nevada and Hawaii. I would think Nevada's going to get the next win.
Nevada should win 3 in a row.
So
they're only favored by 4 against Hawaii.
Exactly. I would think like that's easy. Yeah.
I'm trying.
I don't know. How long could this keep going on for the Wolfpack? But they are on a roll, and they've been playing even in their losses. They've been playing well. Yeah, their defense started covering.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's all I want to say.
Sure. Okay, good point. No, it's a good bet. It's a good bet.
Well, on to the October Classic.
I know Texas is up 3-1.
So I'm going to ask you guys a question here. It's 3-1. Only 6 times has someone come back. Okay, I'm not going to give you a sink or swim because Joe hates them. And so I'm just going to tell you that there's only been there's been 6 times it's happened.
Yeah.
Can you name the team that's done it twice? That's
Atlanta.
No. I wouldn't say it's not Atlanta. The team that was down 3-1 twice. That's
Arizona.
I'm going to tell you, one was in 1925. So you guys, So
we'll say the Yankees. I would say there, right?
The Yankees did it once over Milwaukee in 1958.
Oh,
only once.
Okay,
maybe it was only one.
All right,
now you're just going to have to throw a pick out there, Joe.
All right. Well, I'm trying to picture it. 3-1 down. Maybe the Orioles 1 year.
Not the Orioles. They they were in it, but they lost it 3-1. It was Pittsburgh's Pirates. They did it over Baltimore in 1979 with Willie Stargell and We are family. Yeah, in 1925, I couldn't tell you one player on that team, but they did beat the Washington Senators in 1925. Now, there's been a team that lost twice that was up 3-1 that lost.
That's horrible.
Can you tell me that team?
No, not offhand. That's
Minnesota.
Not Minnesota, no. But I'm going to tell you, it's the Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals.
I would have never.
In 1968, Detroit Tigers beat them. Bob Gibson in Game 7.
Denny McLean.
And then they also did Kansas City in 1985.
I wasn't going to bring that one up because that's Don Denkinger screwing that up.
So you think that's an asterisk?
That doesn't count because they actually won that game. And Don Denkinger screwed up that call at first base, and then Brett Saberhagen wins Game 7. So that doesn't count.
Okay, so Joe is putting it under protest. Okay, but
totally under protest.
But we got to say, last time it happened was 2016 with our lovable losers, Chicago Cubs came back and beat the Cleveland.
I didn't remember them being down 3-1. Okay,
so there's 6.
Yes. The memory is better with older stuff than newer stuff.
Okay,
the older you get, for some reason. But
but baseball go way.
So what do you? I mean, the overs have been looking like they've been. Corey Seager, can we give him the MVP trophy now, or should we wait? Or
there's only one more game tonight.
Well, they have to win the series, and they haven't done that yet.
No, well, Corey Seager looks like he's playing wiffle ball out there.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Texas 10-0 on the road in the playoffs. That's the most in playoff history. If that continues, the series is over tonight, and that would be 11-0, and that's it. Of course, no Garcia or Scherzer. Scherzer, no big deal, but Garcia was amazing.
Cuban player from.
I I kind of have a feeling Arizona's going to make it.
Well, we kind of want it to go a little bit further. No way. We all kind of want. I'm not going to bet it. I'm just going to bet the over. It's over 8.5 tonight. Just enjoy the.
Well, they did come back. I mean, you got to think there was 10-0.
Okay, and that's a prelude. That's a prelude to my you got host.
Okay. Life. They
did know what they did win. Exactly. I got you.
They got a little momentum.
So bet the over. Bet the over. Even though Valdi's pitching tonight.
And there was that one horrible error that led to 500 runs and stuff.
Absolutely.
You got to play clean. You got to play a clean game against Texas. So, and they didn't do that.
No.
So, and they blew that game 1. They was 5-3 in the 9th inning.
Yes.
And
of course, they hit home run.
Yes. So that.
And then they went to extra inning. And then your boy Garcia hit the home run.
So it could very well.
You just can't pitch that guy. He was amazing. He's been amazing in the. Speaking of amazing in the postseasons, Joe, do you have anything on Marte?
Ketel Marte, 20-game hit streak to start his career in the playoffs. I mean, that's
he's on all the time.
Yeah, he's an amazing player. Of course, Garcia set the record for RBIs and home runs, and
right.
And
he's out with an oblique strain. I think he's done.
Yeah, he's
inactive. So New Jersey.
Yeah, in Texas, I think they've hit a home run in 15 consecutive playoff games. That's the longest streak in a single postseason.
Who do they got going tonight? I think it's Zach Gillen or is pitching.
Gallen.
Gallen, yeah, and he's they shelled him pretty good the first time they faced him. So it's their second trip.
He hasn't been pitching as great as he did during the regular season, but he's a tremendous pitcher. And then they got their best pitcher coming up next.
Valde's pitching
for Arizona.
Texas.
And then we could maybe get to the game 7.
Yeah.
So that'd be awesome. And I want to thank Rockin' Ronnie McKinnon.
Way to rock it, Ronnie. Good
for some of those stats about those players. I mean, it's been a pretty amazing series. I mean, Arizona was a terrible team, really.
Yeah.
They were outscored during the regular season. For them to even be in the World Series is amazing.
The baby snakes. They all were up here playing in Reno a few years ago in Northern Nevada, their AAA affiliate.
Yeah. Both these teams a couple years ago had 100 losses.
Yeah. Well, then you get Corey Seager. That was a great move, from the Dodgers.
They did spend a lot of money. So good for them.
All right.
And thanks again, Ronnie. And I guess we got to get to NASCAR. This is the championship race, right? The final race.
Right, exactly. Last week they were at Martinsville, Joe, and went out of order.
I think.
Well, you had Blaney just rolling the whole.
Well, the Fords, the Toyota started off really good at the beginning, and the Fords just dominated at the end. But that track is so unpredictable. That race still it's so hard to predict.
So Blaney got in. He's the final 4. He's him and William Byron.
Well, we have two Chevys. That's Kyle Larson and William Byron. Yeah. We have a Toyota with Christopher Bell, and we have the Ford with Ryan Blaney.
Well, that's good for racing then.
Yes,
we got at least one of each.
Right.
Now, if you're looking at Christopher Bell to win this race, I think he can, but he's been having pit crew problems. Their pit stops have to be right on for this race for them to win. So if you're looking at Toyotas, personally, I kind of like the Fords. Tony Logano, he's not in the chase, but he won it last year, and he's sitting at 20-1. You can get him to win this race.
You're picking a guy not in the chase.
Now, they don't have to win this, right? They all have their points coming in. I think
they're all 4 of them.
5,000. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whoever finishes ahead of the other guys.
So do they get points for stages?
Yes.
So if you win a stage, it gives you points. I mean, it puts you up higher. You don't have to finish as high against each other. These guys are racing against each other. These 4 guys are racing against each other.
Exactly. That just makes it all complicated.
It's going to be very complicated. So just keep an eye on that bottom right-hand screen of it. And, okay, so I'm going to give you guys some stuff. And I'm going to tell you, I know you got the odds on it. And I'm going to tell you why the odds are that way. All right, so Kevin Larson has 1 win in Phoenix. He has 7 top 5s. Mm-hmm. So he's in the money. He's in the money all the time. Mm-hmm. That's why he's number 1.
Right.
William Byron has 1 win, and he has 6 top 10s.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not quite as good, but right there, they both have a win.
All right.
Blaney is 3rd on the odds, and he has 6 top 5s.
Never won there.
Never won. A couple seconds, but he hasn't won. But he has a couple seconds, and he came second, I think, last year.
All right.
And he has 6 top 5s. And then Christopher Bell has 4 top 10s.
Yeah.
So he's in there. I think he's probably only been there 4 times. He was a rookie. Yeah, he's a new guy. So he's only been to 4 top 10s. So let's look at that. That's the reason that I think that the odds are the way that Vegas has the odds set for it, right? Because you have Larson's a favorite. And then I think
history on the track.
Yeah, and then I think you got William. Then you have Blaney, right?
Yeah.
And then because he has 6 top 5s, and then you have William Hill, who's a little bit better, and then Chris Bell's still good, Byron, but he's still pretty. Chris Bell's still right. All 4 of these guys race well.
I
there.
love Christopher Bell, but my question is his pick crew.
Okay, my thing is I had Christopher Bell at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
I put 20 on him. That wins $200.
Yeah,
I got him. It's eight something to. Yeah, it was 8 something to 1. It pays like 195. But right now you get a 4.5. So I mean, after the whole season, I only got like 4, a little bit better odds, but it's still better. So my heart's gonna be there.
Right.
But I just think Larson with the Chevys, they can kind of race together, can't they? Are they with the same Hendricks? Are they different?
Well, Hendricks has like 4 cars.
Okay, but is Larson and William Byron, are they teammates?
Good question.
I don't think so.
I don't think they are.
I'm not exactly
because you can race together on that. You can block people and not people let people in. I mean, do you think, Gator, that it's like Toyota versus?
Yes.
They're going to be playing against each other. Like they're going to try to get their guy in.
Yes,
I would think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all teams.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's teams. So this is going to be just really interesting. Actually, this will hold a candle to some NFL this week.
Yes,
definitely tape it. I think we'll see some stuff in there.
A Saturday night race would have been amazing.
Would have been great.
But no, we have to do it during football.
So
during the Dallas Philly game. That's going to be rough.
It's really rough. Rough competition there, but I'll be flipping it back and forth since I do have a little bit of money on it. But anyway, Christopher Bell, great job all season. Seems like a couple of those, he does really good on the short track. So Phoenix is a 1 mile track. Is that correct? A little bit over a mile?
Yeah, it's a little over a mile.
Oh, yeah. So it's pretty much.
It's a short track in that regard. Sure.
Right.
I consider it sure. Mile, it would be a short track.
So, Christopher Bell's ran really good. He's lost a couple on the short tracks that he could have won. Like you said, we had some pit crew problems, and he has a couple times he just ran on the wall. We talked about that on some of the shows earlier. So it's going to be fun to watch, and we'll see. I think that, like you said, it looks like the Chevy should come out on top according to the analytics.
But I'm taking Ford.
And the Ford, Lane's the hottest guy right now. He had a great win.
Last year for this race, Joey Logano won, Ryan Blaney second.
Yeah.
2 Fords, and then you had Rod Chastain. The best Toyota was Kyle Busch, and he received 7th.
Okay. Well, NHL.
Okay.
Who's looking good early?
Well,
who's looking terrible early?
We have 2 teams, Joe, that haven't lost in regulation. First one would be the Vegas Knights. They're 9-0-1, and Boston at 8-0-1.
They're my Bruins.
And then there's a ton of teams that have 6 wins, but I won't go through that. Our cold teams, San Jose hasn't won a game yet.
We call that one.
Yeah, 0-8-1, correct. And Edmonton and Calgary both only have 2 wins, Joe.
Unbelievable, Edmonton. Wow. Is that coach going to get fired like anytime soon?
I don't know. They had that outdoor game this weekend, Joe, and they did play all right. They did play Calgary. I really don't know, Joe. I can't tell you why Edmonton is so. I know Connor McDavid was hurt for a little bit, but still they got Drysdale, and the list goes on. So great. I don't know why.
Well, Gator, you see Boston. I think you had it right on the money. You have Boston. You have Vegas right there, 8-0, 9-0. Yeah, would be great if they could actually play in the Stanley Cup.
Oh, I would love it.
No, it would never happen because the top team always goes out in the first round.
So I would love that as a series. Heck yeah, and it would be tough. Both teams would be physical. It would be like old school hockey. I would love that.
All right.
But you're right. It ain't going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Not as long as they finish that one. You know for sure it's not going to happen.
I guess maybe you could quickly give your picks, I guess.
Okay. So, well, since we didn't do it last week.
No.
I was 6-4.
You were 13-7 last I checked.
7-3.
Yeah.
So that would be 13-7. Correct.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
All right.
That's a good...
It's over 60%.
65%.
Happy with that.
Yeah, exactly 65%.
So Thursday, I have 3 games. Winnipeg's going to be in Vegas. I'm going to take Vegas.
Okay.
Nashville is playing at Seattle. I'm taking Seattle. Now, Seattle's not as good as they were last year to start the season, but I think they're coming on. This is a team that surprises me. We also have Vancouver playing San Jose. Vancouver should win, but Vancouver is very hot right now. Their plus minus on their goal differential is plus 12, which is second best right now.
All right, Vancouver.
Friday, we have New Jersey at St. Louis. I'm taking New Jersey. That might be your Stanley Cup team right there.
Wow.
Okay. Saturday, I have 3 games. I have Boston at Detroit. I'm taking Boston. Detroit's playing a lot better too, though, by the way.
Right.
Dallas is going to be at Vancouver. I'm going to have to take Vancouver.
My
And
Dallas.
Pittsburgh's going to be at San Jose. Pittsburgh's a little above mediocre, like they have been for a while, so they should have no problem beating San Jose.
Right.
Sunday, I have one game. Vegas will be at Anaheim. Now, Anaheim's funny. They went 0-3 and then went 3-0.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what kind of Anaheim team we're going to get. But I'm taking Vegas.
Of course.
Monday, we have Tampa Bay at Toronto. I'll take Toronto. And Tuesday, we have Pittsburgh and Anaheim, and I'm going to have to take Pittsburgh.
All right.
Now, what's funny about my cold teams, Joe? They're all in the Pacific Division.
Yeah. Okay. So
All right.
bet everybody against the Pacific Division.
Yeah.
All right. We'll try to get those out because there's a lot of them in there that we're trying to get them out on the website so we can, if you want to see those picks, are really good to parlay those from some of your favorites.
Parlay the minuses.
Yep, exactly. I like to parlay them with the football game sometimes. You see one of Gator's good picks in there, he's hitting 70-some%. You might as well parlay that and have a good chance of doubling your money.
Well, it is interesting that we have all four major pro sports going on at the same time right now. Even the NBA breaking started. Is there anything really interesting in the NBA yet?
Well, I think what's interesting is the Lakers and Suns are both in last place. They're 2-2, but I mean, they're not.
That's not terrible.
That's not terrible. Suns got really ripped off last night. Kevin Durant,
San Antonio
stole the ball from him, and he thought for sure he got fouled. And at the last minute, they went and shot a layup and beat him.
Okay.
I think the Warriors 3-1 look really strong. Steph Curry's playing good, and you also have of course the defending champs are 4-0, and no one's talking about them again. Denver, and you got the Celtics 3-0. So most people are looking. It's going to be
Denver, Boston
again. But let's just say the Bucks are 2-1. They did lose one game.
Such a long way to go.
James Harden got traded to the Clippers.
Didn't he just trade himself to the Clippers?
I think he was going, if they wanted him or not. He tried to get on the plane with the 76ers. Yeah. And they didn't
they didn't want him.
They said you can't go. Security had to stop him. He said, you do not have tickets, sir. Yeah, he had to get his own way if he wanted to go.
You're not going to ruin our flight.
Yeah, you're not going to ruin our flight. So we don't like you anymore. This is a divorce.
The NBA is ruined because the players own the league, unfortunately, that they can dictate all these trades. It's really terrible. But anyway.
Good stuff.
Breeders' Cup. Huge weekend, Gator. I guess your picks are going to be on the website.
But we got to put it on the air. You got to give me a Lady Gator pick because she has just been on fire with her Triple Crown picks.
Well, exactly. On the air, we always do the Breeders' Cup Classic because the Breeders' Cup actually has 14 races to it.
Okay.
Friday and Saturday.
Right. When we do Lady Gator's pick, she always does these superfectas and she likes to box them. So if you do $1, it's going to cost you $24. If you do $1 exact box, so you got to have 24 different. Now right. And the last time she did this, she actually hit 2 superfectas
because there was
one ticket.
Dead heat.
Correct.
All right.
So dead heat means a win.
A win for both.
2.
Yeah.
She got 2 of them.
2 winners.
Yep. She had 2 winners. Okay, so anyways, here we go. She has a Saudi crown.
Okay.
Usha Tesoro.
Yeah.
Ushba. Now he is a Japanese horse.
Tesoro.
Sounds like it.
Okay.
Now I'm not gonna single this guy or even put him in my picks. And the reason why is because he does not like the gate. Okay. And if they cannot get him in the gate, they usually use up all their energy, and he just does not like the gate that way that the Americans have it.
Okay.
They've had problems putting him in there, but she still likes him. He's 4-1, by the way.
Oh.
Arabian Night is Bafford's horse. This is a home track for Arabian Night.
Right. We're at
San Antonio.
And horse I like is a White Abreu. He's at 4-1. Abreu.
Okay.
Abreu.
Okay.
So that you put all 4 of those into Nora's or to Lady Gator's super pick.
Okay, we'll put that out. I know it's a lot of information there, but thanks for putting that in. We're trying to put that out so we can figure out how to do our superfecta. What do you call it? Superfecta. Yeah. Top four.
And we got to congratulate South Africa for winning the Rugby World Cup. They beat New Zealand 12-1.
I absolutely love
the weather in Paris.
I love that game, Joe. It had everything. If you've never seen World Rugby, that would be the game to watch.
It was incredible.
It had everything you wanted in it.
Who won 3rd place, by the way? England, I'm sure.
England did.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, So we got to get to our part there, Joe.
It's our You Got Host.
You Got Host segment.
We thought we had a winning bet sitting in our hands or something great was going to happen. But no, something terrible did happen and went terribly wrong. And we ended up getting losers. It's the segment we call You Got Hosed.
You Got Hosed.
Well, I'm going to go outside the box here, Joe, because this one just hits me right in the heart. I've been out here in Carson City since 2000. And when I first came out here, there was sports places all over this town a bit. And this town's not that big. You can get from one end of town in like 15 minutes if there was even traffic.
Right. Now,
it seems like, from a source that I heard, the breeders might be the last time that we'll be doing horses anywhere in person.
That's sad.
So I'm going to have to say that if that is true, which I'm probably thinking it's 90% true, the way things have been.
Why would anybody say that unless it was true?
Right. So I say we all got hosed out here.
Well, that's too bad. Horrible. But they will still do the Kentucky Derby, I'm sure.
The big races, the Triple Crown, and maybe William Hill might do Triple Crown and maybe just the special races. Maybe.
Weeder says no. We'll have to look into it. Okay. Well, my You Got Hosed story is this. Colorado Buffaloes go to sunny Southern California.
UCLA, right?
UCLA play in the beautiful, was it the Rose Bowl? Don't you think you'd have some type of security in the Rose Bowl?
You would think.
You would think you're in the Rose Bowl.
It's California.
Well, guess what? The Colorado lost the game, and then they came back, and all of their gold jewelry and their stuff was stolen out of their locker room.
Yeah.
So they got beat twice. And so if you're the Colorado Buffaloes, I mean, if you're in the Rose Bowl, can you put a security guard out there? Maybe put a camera, you get a ring, something like that. There's no rings, and obviously they don't know who took stuff, but there is an open investigation. So all those kids that have their NIL money, having their nice jewelry, they came back and they had no bling bling on their airplane on the way back.
Maybe they could pay for some insurance with
no insurance. None of them had insurance.
There you go. Well, Thursday night was that Buffalo-Tampa game. Buffalo was favored by 7.5 or more, depending on what you got. They're at 14 with 3 minutes left. Tampa Bay has that one last drive. They convert 2 fourth downs. The second one is a face mask. And that game was over if he just tackles it. But he face masked the guy.
And then threw it to Mike Evans off the helmet.
Yeah, fourth down. Off the helmet into Mike Evans for a touchdown. Still, if you're only laying 7.5 to 8, you're okay. But no, Tampa Bay decides to go for 2. Of course. Like, I got a shot here. And that bounces off a defender into some guy's hands in the end zone. Final score, 24-18. If you had Buffalo at any spread, you got hosed.
Absolutely.
You got hosed.
Well, it's another great show, guys. We got it out here. Thanks for being patient during our bye week, everybody out there. Hopefully you can get some of these great picks that we have for you out here. Remember to gamble responsible. It's always great to gamble. Makes the watching a lot better to watch, but always do it responsibly. Gamble what you can afford to lose. And take these picks, and hopefully we can all make some money this week. I'd like to thank Joe Ellison, our host over here. I'd like to thank Gator Gates and Lady Gator for bringing us her horse racing picks. We'd like to thank Rockin, Ronnie, McKinnon.
Butch the Butcher.
Butch always cutting up the numbers for us, butching up the numbers for us. And I'm Big Richard Martin. We're signing off from the beautiful northern Nevada High Sierras.
You've been listening to Covering the Field. Email us at coveringthefield@gmail.com for all your comments or questions. Find us on Twitter @CoveringField. And of course, always check out the website for our picks of the week and updated articles. coveringthefield.com.